Welcome back, friends and followers. This week's video rotation brings us around to March's numbers, statistics, and marketplace news in none other than the market report for the month. Spend the next couple of minutes with me as we catch up together. So yes, as always, welcome back. Now, if physics has taught us anything, it's that most anything that is hot will eventually cool, and the residential housing market is no exception. Google searches for home for sale have decreased by about 7%, and even more so in certain coastal areas like Boston, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. Additionally, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association, mortgage applications were down 1.3% coming out of March, and when compared to last year's statistics, refinance activity has dropped some 62%, as well as overall purchase applications, which is down 6% as well. Additionally, data supplied by Redfin shows that a share of homes experiencing price drops has increased throughout the month of March as it comes to a close. It's also been reported that overall 3% of homes have featured a price reduction when compared to this time last year, when less than 2.5% have reduced in price. While this works in place of bringing some balance back to the marketplace, again, like most hot things, it will take a small period of time for these changes to set in and really cool down the marketplace. With that being said, let's take a look at some of our numbers. Looking at single-family home sales here in the Ocala, Marion County area for the month of March, starting of course with closed sales. Now, closed sales we did see up 720 closed sales versus that of February's 514. This being just over a 1% decrease of what we saw in March of 2021 at 736 closed sales. Sales volume we did see up as well, 249 million versus that of February's 179 million. Average sale price we did see fall just shy, $342K versus that of February's $348,000 average home sale price. Median time to contract we did also see decrease from 10 days in March to that of 15 days in February. And average list price received we did still see at a steady 100% across the board coming out of February into March. Jumping on over to the inventory side of things, pending sales we did see up 734 pending homes versus that of February's 664. New listings we did also see up at 804 new homes on the market versus February's 636. And active inventory as a whole we did also see up 701 active homes for sale versus February's 638. This still being a 5% decrease over what we had in March of 2021 at 742 homes on the market. Now, the month supply of inventory, that MSI number that I like to talk about, we did see increase just a tick, coming in at 1.0 versus 0.9 in February. So in conclusion, while a small influx of springtime inventory has added some replenishment to those critical categories, the numbers do still show evidence that high demand hasn't subsided just yet. Some South Florida construction workers encountered a rather scaly squatter upon entering their job site. New home construction workers in Babcock Ranch, which is a planned community northeast of the Fort Myers area where homes can sell up to as much as $1.5 million, discovered a 12-foot alligator hanging out in a tiled corner of the master bedroom suite in a home currently underway in the construction process. A worker set to install window blinds in the room stumbled across the unwelcome guest and was quick to evacuate and call animal services. 2 animal trappers reported to the scene and removed the gator by means of removing the sliding glass patio door to the home. The trappers were able to load the gator up into their vehicle only after the gator attempted multiple death rolls in an attempt to break free. It's suspected that the gator made his way into the home via a large pond behind the area where the home is being constructed in an effort to get up out of the cold, and the wind then closed the door behind him, trapping him inside the home. Video of the reptile removal took to the internet and social media, where it became an immediate source of bad roommate and insurance claim jokes. The gator was then said to be released safely in a wilderness area. Next up, foreclosure activity is ramping up with Florida at the forefront. Foreclosure starts and bank repossessions have come in at their highest numbers here in the last 2 years. Most of the pandemic-initiated moratoriums have now run their course, and lenders and banks are starting to resume foreclosure proceedings as normal. Still, foreclosure numbers are not what we've seen them in prior years. According to Q1's foreclosure market report, the number of properties with foreclosure filings climbed some 39% from that of the previous quarter and have experienced a 132% increase when compared to Q1 in 2021. Gradually returning to normal levels since the expiration of the government-placed moratoriums, foreclosure activity is still only at about 57% of where it was in Q1 of 2020. That, of course, was the last quarter before the government enacted consumer protection programs due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Foreclosure filings have increased in all 50 states, but the states with the largest number of foreclosure starts in the first quarter were California, Florida, Texas, Illinois, and Ohio. It's also been stated that it's likely that foreclosure activity will continue to see significant growth month over month going into the second quarter of 2022. But normal levels are not expected to be present until end of recessive year at earliest, considering that the United States economy isn't jeopardized in any other way, shape, or form. And lastly, a recent survey forecasting the proposed outlook of future homeowners determined that 26% of people may be less likely to buy a home due to rising interest rates. Now, with everything that we've experienced thus far along the way, like the COVID-19 pandemic, property tax increases, inflation, rising costs of construction material, and a shortage of housing inventory, rising interest rates has been the last tally added to the board. At the beginning of March, we saw interest rates average out into the 4s, and as we worked our way out of the month, we saw those rates rise above 5% for the first time since 2019. Now, while those in a situation where they need to move and relocate will in fact still buy, depending what percentage the interest rates are at, others have paused on buying or reconfiguring their expectations on their home search and what they can realistically afford. Some home buyers are opting to stay put if the move is more of a want and less of a need. While concerns and conversations are still being had at the current state of mortgage rates, because there is such high demand and low inventory, these conversations are taking a backseat to other pertinent discussions when making offers. Granted, the rate hikes have created a stir amongst those out shopping with mortgage products, but if you look at over the past 20 to 30 years at rates in the larger picture, these rates are still competitively low. Well, there you have it, friends. That has been the latest in marketplace news and statistics. As always, hope you guys were able to take a little bit of value away from this information. If you'd like any further elaboration on anything contained within, drop a comment below, shoot me off a message, or if you just want to chime in with your 2 cents, I'd love to hear from you as well. As always, slide on over to the page, give it a like and subscribe to stay up to date when great residential real estate marketplace news like this is released for the Ocala, Marion County area. As always, thanks for tuning in and checking out the videos. We'll catch you guys on the next.